Now please see this next question. Your next question is, a person standing exactly midway between two towers. Okay, let me understand statement by statement. There are two towers. This I will call it as tower 1. This I will call it as tower 1, and there is another tower. This I will call it as tower 2. I don't know whether tower 2 is greater than tower 1 or tower 1 is greater than tower 2 at this point of a time. I am just drawing a rough estimate at this point. A person standing exactly midway between two towers. This is the midpoint of this point B and D. Let me call tower 1 as AB. Let me call tower 2 as CD. Between B and D, exactly middle, there is a person standing. I will name that point as point M. And this person observes the top of two towers at an angle of elevation of 22.5 degrees and 67.5 degrees. This is the top of tower 1. Angle of elevation from here to here. This is given as 22.5 degrees. Angle of elevation from here to this second tower top is given as 67.5 degrees. This is what is given as of now. What is the ratio of the height of a taller tower to the height of shorter tower? Now, height of taller tower, I will name this height as H2 because taller tower I represent it as tower 2. Height of shorter tower I will represent it as H1. They are asking you the ratio of H2 is to H1. They are also giving the value of tan 22.5 degrees as root 2 minus 1. It is given in the question. Now listen to this very carefully, sir. Now first thing is, because this M is the midpoint of BD, this BM value will be absolutely same as MD value. BM is absolutely same as MD because M is acting as the midpoint between BD, right? Midpoint of BD, BM is equal to MD. That is point number 1 that you need to understand. Second point is angle B here is 90, angle D here is 90. Now, can I say that the angle given in the first triangle AMB is 22.5. It is not the standard value what we used to solve in all our previous questions. That means 1, 30, 60, 90 is the standard value what we have learnt. 45, 45, 90 is the other standard triangle what we know. These are the two triangles which are very frequent in examinations. But that does not mean that those are the only two types of triangles you might get. You might get triangles of 22.5, 67.5 also like this particular question. But this is not a standard value what we know. So what we will do is, we will apply the traditional method of solving because this is not a frequent number which will come in the examination. Let us not each and every number, let us not concentrate and keep on remembering in our mind. Let us have that only two things of triangles which are very frequent by nature. 30, 60, 90 triangle, 45, 45, 90 triangle. Remaining any other angles which come in the examination, let us do it in the traditional way. That means if I take this triangle ABM, right? If I take this ABM or AMB, whatever it is, in triangle AMB, angle given is 22.5. Tan of 22.5 degrees, opposite by adjacent. Opposite to 22.5 side is H1, adjacent to that is BM, right? Adjacent to that is BM. So this is nothing but H1 divided by BM. Similarly, there is another triangle which is called as, which is the second triangle, sir. This one, it is MDC or CMD. CMD triangle. In triangle CMD, angle given is 67.5. Tan of 67.5 degrees. Opposite to CMD is H2. Adjacent to CMD, the side which is adjacent to this 67.5 is MD. So it is H2 divided by MD. Can I also say this as MD is equal to H2 divided by tan of 67.5 degrees, and this one I can also write it as BM is equal to H1 divided by tan of 22.5 degrees. Why did I write like this? This is equation 1, this is equation 2. Left hand side of equation 1 is BM, left hand side of equation 2 is MD, but BM is equal to MD because the left hand side of both equations are same. Equate the right hand side. So it is H1 divided by tan 22.5 degrees is equal to H2 divided by tan 67.5 degrees. They are asking you the ratio of H2 divided by H1. It is tan 67.5 degrees divided by tan 22.5 degrees. I hope you are able to understand the logic. Tan 67.5 is tan of 90 minus 22.5. Tan of 90 minus 22.5 is cot 22.5 divided by tan 22.5. Further, if I simplify, this is nothing but 1 divided by, already tan 22.5 is present in the denominator. Cot 22.5 is nothing but 1 by tan 22.5. So we will end up getting tan square 22.5 degrees. So H2 divided by H1 is 1 divided by tan square 22.5. Tan 22.5 value is given in the question as root 2 minus 1 whole square. So if I rationalize, these are all things which you definitely need to do it, sir. There is no other way. So rationalizing, you will get it as, so this is root 2 minus 1 whole square is what is there in the denominator. So numerator I will multiply by root 2 plus 1 whole square. Denominator also I will multiply by root 2 plus 1 whole square. And if I further simplify, this will be coming as root 2 plus 1 divided by root 2 minus 1 into root 2 plus 1 whole square. The entire thing will be squared. So this denominator is root 2 minus 1 into root 2 plus 1 is 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 square is nothing but 1. You are left out with root 2 plus 1 whole square in the numerator. Simplify. A plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So final answer is 3 plus 2 root 2. 3 plus 2 root 2 divided by 1. This is H2 by H1. Ratio is 3 plus 2 root 2 is to 1. If you see this diagram, 3 plus 2 root 2 is to 1 should be the answer for this particular question. Because 22.5 and 67.5 are not the values which we are completely comfortably aware of, let us use the traditional method once in a while, sir. There is no harm in using it, but only thing, you should be little fast in simplifying all these things, and I believe that you will not waste too much of time in simplifying all these values. I hope the idea is very, very clear for you people. Now, before solving the next question, I am sure that you know this angular bisector theorem, which we have already discussed in geometry class. I will give you a very, very small brief idea about it in this particular class, because I might need it in my next problem. Listen carefully, sir. Suppose there is a triangle. There is a triangle like this. This triangle, I will call it as triangle ABC. Now, from this point C, this particular angle is totally angle C, right? This particular angle is totally angle C. I will draw a line. Diagram is not drawn to the scale. I will draw a line. That means if I draw a line, this will be an angle, this will be the other angle. That means this particular angle C, if I draw a line from angle C to a point D on AB, then the angle C will be bisected. The angle is bisected equally by the line CD. That is nothing but the bisector. Line CD is nothing but the angular bisector, right? Line CD is nothing but the angular bisector. In fact, it need not be equal, sir, always. In cases, it can be equal also, but it need not be equal always. Suppose, let me give you some example. Suppose this value is 12, AD value is 12, AC entire value is given as 18. Suppose BC value is given as 24. I am interested in finding the value of BD. Let me call that BD value as X for your explanation. Now, what does angular bisector theorem say? What is the definition of angular bisector theorem? I will not say all those English statements which is given in textbook, sir. That is something which you are aware of, or that is something which you will learn in textbook also. I will make you understand in the way it has to be understood. Now, very, very simple. From point C, you have drawn a line which is meeting at point D. This point D is on the line AB, correct, right? This point D is on the line AB. That means this AB is divided as AD and DB. The line AB is divided as AD and DB. That means, can I say that this was one complete group called as AB earlier. Now this AB of one complete group, you made it into two groups. First group is called as AD. There is another team. The second team is called as BD. That means first team is AD. Second team is BD. Just put an equal sign. I am not saying that AD is equal to BD. Just put an equal sign. Now, what should be there below AD and BD as the denominators? So now see here, I am just telling you how do you derive the proportionality in angular bisector theorem, not by using definitions, all those things. Now, which is the line? Now, if I take this triangle ACD, if I take, there is a line CD. This CD line is nothing but the bisector. That is the line which is dividing the triangle into two parts, right? That is the bisector. Forget about that line. Forget about that line CD. You have already written this line AD. What is the other line in this particular triangle ACD? The other line is nothing but AC. Put that AC in the denominator. Simple way, sir. Put that AC in the denominator. I hope you are understanding. Similarly, if I take this particular triangle BCD, in BCD, CD is the line which is the bisector. Forget about that line. BD is the line which you have already written here. What is the other line? The other line is nothing but BC. Other line is BC. This is the actual correct representation of angular bisector theorem, right? Actual correct representation of angular bisector theorem. Then substitute the values and find out x value. Now, sir, why did you teach this angular bisector theorem? Please see this beautiful question, sir. There is a beautiful question which we are solving right now based on this angular bisector theorem. Let us understand it carefully. A vertical pole fixed to the ground is divided in the ratio 1:9 by a mark on it with lower part shorter than the upper part. Okay, there is a vertical pole. There is a vertical pole. I will name this vertical pole as BC. This vertical pole, it is fixed to the ground. There is a ground. This ground is nothing but AB, right, or BA. This vertical pole is fixed to the ground and is divided in the ratio 1:9 by a mark on it. There is some mark on it. I will name that mark as mark D, right? I will name that mark as mark D. Now, this vertical pole BC is divided in the ratio 1:9 with lower part shorter than the upper part. This lower part is shorter value, upper part is the longer value. That means, can I say that it is BD value 1 and DC value 9. 1:9 is what it is divided into. BD value 1 and DC value 9. Next, if the two parts subtend equal angles at a place on the ground, there is a place on the ground. That place I will name it as place A or point A. If two parts, that means this angle D, this point D is making an angle of theta, with respect to A, and this angle C is also making an angle of theta with respect to A. If two parts subtend equal angles at a place on the ground, that means from point C, if I draw an angle from A, this AC, angle ACD is theta. Similarly, angle ABD is also equal to theta. They are subtending equal angles 15 meter away from the base of the pole. This BA value according to the question is given as 15 meter. What is the height of the pole? Height of the pole is what we are interested. Height of the pole is nothing but equal to this entire BC value, right? Entire BC value is what we are finding right now. Now think logically. BC does not mean that it is 1 plus 9, answer is 10, mark it as 10. It is in the ratio of 1:9. That means if BD value is 1, then DC value will be 9. If BD value is root 3, then DC value is 9 root 3. If BD value is 5, then DC value will be 9 into 5, 45. Like that, it is the ratio part. Now, This is an angular bisector. In this particular question, there was a bigger triangle CBA. This bigger triangle CBA is divided by a line called as AD. So AD is nothing but bisector, the line which bisects the triangle. AD is the bisector right now, and that bisector is making the entire angle to be equally divided as theta and theta. Maybe diagram is not drawn to the scale, sir. Do not worry about it. So theta and theta it is making. Now see here. Can I say that from angular bisector theorem? Everyone please concentrate here, sir. From angular bisector theorem, I will write it for your better understanding, but you need not write in the examination all these statements. From angular bisector theorem, what can I write? Think a little logically, sir. First of all, this AD is the line which is making this particular line BC divided into two parts. This entire line BC was one unit earlier. That means it was a one entity. Now it became two different teams. One of the team is nothing but CD. First team captain is nothing but CD. Second team captain is nothing but DB or BD. Write it like this in the numerator with an equal sign. What should come in the denominator? Same like the way I explained you here, I am explaining there also, sir. No difference. What should come in the denominator? If I take this bigger triangle right now, this AD is the bisector. Forget about that bisector. CD is already what you have written. Another side is nothing but AC. Denominator, write it as AC where CD is present. Similarly, BD is something which you have already written in the smaller triangle. BD is already written. AD is the angular bisector. The other line should be BA or AB. Write down AB. You know the values. CD value is 9. AC value I don't know. BD value is 1. AB value is 15. So AC value will be cross multiply. It is 15 into 9. Let me have this AC value for later stages. So AC is nothing but the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. The hypotenuse of this right angle triangle is 15 into 9 units. Right? It is 15 into 9 units. Now what is that we require, sir? We require BC value. Can I say that ABC is a right angle triangle? In this right angle triangle, length, what is that? Base is given as 15 meters. Hypotenuse is given as 15 into 9 meters. This value BC can be found out by Pythagoras theorem. So from triangle ABC, I can write that Pythagoras theorem is AC square is AB square plus BC square. AB square plus BC square is nothing but equal to AC square. AB value is known to us as 15. 15 square plus BC square is equal to AC square is 15 into 9 whole square. 15 into 9 whole square. So BC square will be 15 into 9 whole square minus 15 square. So it is 15 square common factor. In bracket it is 9 square minus 1. So it is 15 square into 80. 15 square into 80 is nothing but 16 into 5. This is nothing but BC square. But I want BC value. I don't want BC square value. BC will be square root of 15 square is 15. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 5 is root 5. So answer for this question is 60 root 5 meters or units. BC value is 60 root 5 units. Very easy, sir. One thing which you should definitely know to solve this question is angular bisector theorem. And I believe that with an example before solving this question, you are aware of angular bisector theorem, which can be implemented in this question in the same fashion to get the side of the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle. One of the other side of the right angle triangle is given. one more side which is unknown can be easily found out by using Pythagorean triplets or Pythagoras theorem. Easily from Pythagoras theorem you will get the value of BC as 60 root 5 units. I hope the idea is very very clear for you people, sir. Please see the next question, sir. Next question is a very very good question. Extremely beautiful and important question. Please pay complete attention for this question. Next. See here. The question is the elevation of the summit of a mountain from its foot is 45 degrees. Now, suppose A is the foot of the mountain. A is the foot of the mountain. And the summit is nothing but the peak. The summit of the mountain is point C. The elevation of the summit of a mountain from its foot is 45 degrees. If this is the level ground, this angle of elevation, it is given in the question as 45 degrees. This entire angle is given in the question as 45. That is point number 1. After ascending 2 kilometers towards the mountain upon an incline of 30 degrees, that means after ascending 2 kilometers toward the mountain upon an incline of 30 degrees, I will not move like this. I will not move along AC itself. I will have an inclination of 30 degrees. I will have an inclination of 30 degrees and I will travel for 2 kilometers. After ascending is nothing but moving upward. After ascending 2 kilometers, that means if I name this point as D, AD value is 2 kilometers. After ascending 2 kilometers towards the mountain, towards the summit of the mountain, I am ascending 2 kilometers upon an incline of 30. That means I could have just traveled along AC like this 2 kilometers, but I don't want to travel along AC like that. I want to have an inclination of 30 degrees and then travel. After ascending 2 kilometers toward the mountain upon an incline of 30 degrees, the elevation changes to 60 degrees. That means from this point, I am right now at this point. From this point, if I see the summit, angle of elevation earlier was 45 degrees. Now the angle of elevation with this horizontal ground, this particular horizontal ground, DE is an horizontal level ground again, right? This DE is horizontal ground. This angle of elevation, it now changes to 60 degrees. This becomes 60 degrees. What is the approximate height of the mountain? What is the approximate height of the mountain? This particular point, I will name it as point B. I hope the idea is clear. I hope the diagram is very very clear for you people. Now see here, sir. Can I say that this is the location where I was at this point? From this D, if I see C, which is the summit, angle of elevation with respect to the level ground, that means this DE is nothing but parallel to AB. DE is parallel to AB. That means DE is nothing but a horizontal line in another language. DE is a level ground or a horizontal line. Then only with that horizontal line, I have drawn an angle of 60 degrees here with the angle of elevation as 60 degrees to the summit. Now, if I drop a perpendicular from D, now perpendicular means this angle is 90 degrees. I will name this point as F, right? I will name this point as F. This angle is 90, and because this is horizontal and this is the perpendicular I am drawing, this angle also becomes 90 degree. This CB value is vertical line and this E is the horizontal, D is the horizontal. This angle is also 90 degrees and B is anyway 90 degrees. That means, can I say that DEBF or BEDF. This is 90, 90, 90, 90 degrees, or in simple language, it is a square. Sir, how did you prove that it is a square? I am repeating one more time. This point D, from there I am drawing a horizontal to draw this as 60 degree. From there I am drawing a vertical line. That means these two are 90 degrees. These two also will be 90 in that case, because this line is also y-axis line or the vertical line. Next, similarly, this is the level ground AB. With that level ground, this is the vertical line. This is perpendicular. If three angles are 90 degrees in a quadrilateral, the fourth angle should also be 90. Angle B is 90. So this DEBF is a square, right? DEBF is a square. I hope these points are very, very clear before we start solving the actual question. Now see here, sir. Can I say that? Think little logically. This 45 degree angle is with respect to this triangle ACB. The bigger triangle, outside a triangle, is 45 degrees. If this is 45, this is 90, this entire angle will become 45 right now, right? This entire angle is 45. That means, can I say that opposite to that 45 degrees, if I assume it as 1 unit, then opposite to this 45 also will become 1 unit. Or in other language, I can take this another triangle. Let me come to that triangle after some time. There is another right angle triangle. That another right angle triangle is this triangle DEC, right? DEC. This is 60 degrees. This is 90 degrees. So this should be 30 degrees, right? This should be 30 degrees. Think logically. If this is 30, opposite to 30, if I call DE as 1 unit, opposite to 60, that means CE value will become √3 unit. CE value will become √3 unit. Similarly, if DE value is 1, then DF value also will become 1 because it's a square. EB value will also become 1, it's a square. BF value will also become 1, it's a square again. That means all these sides are 1 unit. Similarly, if I take another triangle ADF, in triangle ADF, opposite angle is 30 degrees. Opposite to 30, if I take it as 1 unit, then opposite to 60, it will be √3 units. This entire side is √3. But don't keep solving all the values, sir. Just stop for a minute and think little logically. Opposite to 30 is 1. Opposite to 60 is √3. Opposite to 90 is 2. That also is given in the question anyway as 2 itself. So I don't need to multiply by any other multiplying factor other than 1. What is the question? What is the approximate height of the mountain? That means they are asking BC value. BC value is what they are asking. BC value is from here to here it is √3. From E to B it is 1. Answer for this question is already known as √3 plus 1. √3 value is 1.73. 1 plus 1 is answer approximately is 2.73 kilometers, which is nothing but option D. Now you might ask a question, sir, why was this 45 degrees given then? What is the use of this 45 degrees? This 45 degree here signifies that opposite to this 45 is BC. Opposite to this 45 is BC. Opposite to angle C45 is it is AB. AB value and BC value both should be same. If you want, check it out. AB is also √3 plus 1. That is what I wrote here. BC is also √3 plus 1. That is what I wrote here. Same thing. Both are same values only, right, sir? So this is considered as one of the beautiful questions that you can form or that you can solve by using this concept of method 2 for heights and distances. I hope I wrote a diagram little lengthier or bigger so that you will not have any confusion. First thing that you should understand is if you can prove that DEBF is a square, then your problem is damn easy, sir. If you can prove that that is a square, your problem is damn easy. And why this 2 km is given? Because to say that if this side is 1, this side also is 1 only, right? To prove that it is 1, opposite to 30 if I take it as 1, opposite to 60 will become root 3, opposite to 90 will become how much then according to our ratio concept? It should become 2. Yes, it is also 2 in the question. So this value is 1 only. This value is not some other value. That is the significance of that value 2. There is a reason why all these values are given. And I explained you each and every reason for the values which are given in the question. I believe that this beautiful question is very, very clear for my students. I hope the idea is clear for you, sir. Next, please see the next question. A tower stands on the top of a building which is 40 meter high. Okay, first let us draw the building. Building is AB. Like the way we solved a question on flag. Flag was on top of a building. Now there is a tower which is on top of the building. It is given in the question as 40 meters according to question. A tower is standing on the top of the building. Let me call the tower as AT. Tower is represented by T, for example, AT. Next, angle of depression of a point situated on the ground to the top and bottom of tower are found to be 60 and 45 respectively. There is a point. Let me name this point as P. This is the level ground BP. Angle of depression of the top of the tower and bottom of the tower. From top of the tower, it is given as 60 degrees, right? It is given as 60 degrees. From the bottom of the tower, which is point A, it is given as, how much it is given, sir? It is given as 45 degrees. This angle is 45 degrees. Find the height of the tower. AT value they are asking. Find the height of the tower. AT value they are asking. Now see here, same logic, so easily you can solve all these questions. And I believe that you are comfortable solving this kind of questions by now after solving so many varieties of questions in my previous problems. Now see here, sir, same logic I will implement. Can I say that AB value is 40? According to this smaller triangle ABP, this is 45 degrees. If this is 45, this is 90, this should be 45 again. Next, opposite to 45 degrees, it is already given in the question as 40. Opposite to this 45 also should be 40. That means BP value is also 40. Similarly, next, if I take this angle 60, bigger triangle, this angle 90, then this angle should be 30 degrees. This angle should be 30. Opposite to 30, if I take it as 1 unit, then opposite to 60, this entire value will be root 3. But opposite to 30 is not 1. Opposite to 30 is 40. 1 should be converted to 40 by multiplying factor 40. Root 3 also multiply by 40. That means this entire thing is 40 root 3. This only from A to B it is 40. That means from A to T it is subtraction of those two. 40 root 3 minus 40. 40 common, it is root 3 minus 1. Very easy, sir. Very easy. These are all very, very easy questions by practice. Next question. This is a very, very beautiful question. Please listen to this question with utmost attention, sir. Very beautiful question. I see a bird flying at a constant speed of 1.7568 kilometers per hour in the sky. The speed of a bird is given as 1.7568 kilometers per hour. Okay. The angle of elevation is 60 degrees. That means I am at this particular point. Let me call my point as A. There is a bird. There is a bird. Suppose like this is a bird, right? Diagram is not drawn to the scale again. This bird I will call it as a point B, right? This bird I will call it as point B. Now the angle of elevation initially is 60 degrees. with the level ground, right, with the level ground. That means this angle is 60 degrees. Now it is given that the speed of bird is 1.7568 kilometers per hour in the sky, and it is moving at a constant speed. The speed will not change. Next, after half a minute, that means this bird kept on moving like this. It kept on moving. After half a minute, that means after 30 seconds, I see the bird again. That means after 30 seconds, the bird is found at this particular point right now. The bird is found at this particular point right now. Let me name that point as point C. This is nothing but after half a minute. The time taken from B to C is 30 seconds, half minute. I see the bird again, and this time the angle of elevation is 45 degrees. I did not change my position. I am at point A itself. Angle of elevation this time is 45 degrees. This bigger angle with the level ground is given as 45 degrees in the question, right? It is given as 45 degrees. Next, what is the perpendicular distance of the bird from me? Perpendicular distance, that means from the level ground where I am, this particular distance of CD is what they are asking you in the question. CD is the perpendicular distance they are asking you in the question. Now see here, sir. Now see here, same logic once again. Speed of the bird is given in this question. That's all. Now this is 90 degrees in this bigger triangle. In another triangle ABE, this is 90 degrees, right? This is 90 degrees. Now you take any triangle, whatever you like. Suppose if I take the smaller triangle AEB, this is 60 degrees, this is 90 degrees, this should be 30 degrees. Opposite to 30, if I assume this value as 1 unit, opposite to 60, that means BE value, this will become root 3 units, right? This will become root 3 units. BE is absolutely same as CD. CD is also the perpendicular distance of the bird from me. That also will be root 3 according to my assumption. So you should not mark the answer as root 3 directly right now, because that is just an assumption. Now perpendicular distance according to my assumption is root 3. Similarly, can I also say that opposite to this 45, is root 3 already fixed. Opposite to this 45, which is nothing but this entire AD value, that also should be the same value, root 3. Entire AD is root 3. AE is 1. So ED is out of root 3, remove that 1, you will get ED value. That means I got values already in my diagram. Now think logically. To travel from E to D, or in other language, to travel from B to C, it took 30 seconds for the bird to travel, and it is traveling a distance of root 3 minus 1. That means according to my assumption, speed of the bird, according to my assumption is distance traveled from B to C is, it is root 3 minus 1. Distance traveled is root 3 minus 1 meters divided by time taken is half minute. Half minute is 30 seconds. According to my assumption, the speed of the bird is root 3 minus 1 by 30 meters per second. But according to the question, speed of the bird is 1.7568 kilometers per hour. According to the question, it is 1.7568 kilometers per hour converted to meters per second as into 5 by 18 meters per second. Similarly, according to my assumption, perpendicular distance CD value is root 3, right? It is root 3 according to my assumption. According to my assumption, CD value is root 3. According to the question, how much they are asking you. Cross multiply and simplify if you cannot find the multiplying factor. Question mark into root 3 minus 1 by 30 is equal to 1.7568 into 5 by 18 into root 3. I hope the idea is very clear for you. So your question mark value, that is nothing but the unknown variable. Question mark will be equal to, next line I will write it, sir. Question mark will be equal to, first I will write the right hand side value, 1.7568 into 5 by 18 into 5 by 18 into root 3. Now left hand side value shift it. This 30 will go to the numerator, root 3 minus 1 will come to the denominator, into 30. This will be the numerator, denominator I will get that root 3 minus 1 value. I hope you are able to understand this simplification, sir. Now I can further simplify as root 3 value is 1.732 minus 1 is 0.732. So this is 1.7568. I am just writing everything for your understanding. Into 5 into root 3 into 30 divided by 0.732 times of 18. Now why did I write that 0.732? Because this decimal I want to eliminate. That means I should move the decimal after 4 places, multiply by 10 power 4. This also if I multiply by 10 power 4, your denominator if I multiply by 10 power 4, it becomes 7320 into 18. Numerator, this value if I multiply by 10 power 4, decimal will eliminate, into 5 into root 3 into 30. Sir, why did you again do all these things? 0 and 0 cancels. This is 732 into 1. 732 into 2 is nothing but 1464, and then it is remaining is 4 into 24. It will go exactly, sir, if you want check it out. This is 6 into 3, this is 6 into 4, and then it is 3 and 3 cancels, 4 and 5 is left, multiply, 4 into 5 is 20, 20 root 3 should be the final answer. Perpendicular distance of the bird from me is nothing but equal to 20 root 3 units or meters or whatever is given. I hope this beautiful question is also very clear. Already all the values you have got it in the diagram itself, sir. Only the simplification little bit, converting from kilometer per hour to meter per second, and then cross multiplying and simplifying. All these things, extra things should be taken care of. Rest all are very easy to be calculated. I hope the idea is very clear for you people. Next question. These are all the questions. I am sure that you can solve it right now because you have listened to my so many previous questions on heights and distances where I applied some beautiful techniques or methodologies to be implemented. Please see this question, sir. Ajay is standing at some distance from a 60-meter tall building. That means there is a building. Let me name that building as AC. Let me name that building as AC. The height of this building is given according to the question as 60 meters. Okay, that is point number 1. Ajay is 1.8 meters tall. There is this person Ajay. Ajay is 1.8 meters tall. If I name this as point D, this is where the person Ajay is standing right now. Ajay is standing at some distance from a 60-meter tall building. This is the distance Ajay is standing from 60-meter tall building, and that point is D. And the height of Ajay is 1.8 meter tall. It is also given in the question as 1.8 meters. Let me name this point as point E. Next. When Ajay walks towards the building, that means he is at this point D right now. He kept on walking toward the building like this. Then the angle of elevation from his head becomes 60 degrees from 45 degrees. This is the head of Ajay. Ajay is standing here and the height is 1.8. This is the head of Ajay, right? Point E is the head of Ajay. That means, can I say that from the head of Ajay, angle of elevation from his head becomes 60 degree after walking for some distance. After walking for some distance, this is where he has walked till now. So this point I will call it as point F. This point I will call it as point B. After walking for some distance, angle of elevation from his head become 60 degrees from 45 degrees. That means from his head, earlier the angle of elevation was 60 degrees. Sorry, from 45 degrees. Earlier it was 45 degrees. Now after walking some distance, this will be his head right now. This is the place where Ajay is standing right now. That means this is his head. Point F is the place where his head is located. Angle of elevation right now, it becomes 60 degrees. Diagram is not drawn to the scale, please. Please do not worry too much about that part. Next, how much distance did Ajay cover towards the building? This EF value is what they are very much interested in finding in this question. Find the value of EF, the distance travelled from E to F. Please tell me the distance beta is the question. Now see here, sir. Same logic. If ED is 1.8, BC also will be 1.8. Both are same. If BC is 1.8 and AC is 60, total value 60, this value is 1.8. So AB value 60 minus 1.8, 58.2 units. It is 58.2. Now think little logically. If I take this triangle ABE, angle is 45. If this is 45, this entire thing also will be 45 degrees, and this is anyway 90. Opposite to 45, if it is 58.2 degrees, 2 units. Opposite to 45, if it is 58.2. Opposite to angle A45 also should be 58.2. That means this entire value from B to E or the entire value from C to D is 58.2 meters. That is point number 1. Similarly, point number 2 is, if I use a different color for your better understanding, this is 60 degrees, this is 90 degrees. So this angle should be 30 degrees. Opposite to 30, if I assume it as 1 unit, opposite to 30, that means if FB value is assumed as 1 unit, then opposite to 60, AB value will become root 3 unit, but AB is already fixed as 58.2. Let us solve it here. According to my assumption, AB value is root 3, but question says AB is not root 3, AB is 58.2. Similarly, according to my assumption, FB value is 1 unit. According to my assumption, FB value is 1 unit. According to my assumption, FB value is 1 unit. According to the question, how much? So this is cross multiplying again. So can I say that question mark into root 3 is equal to 1 into 58.2, or it is 58.2 divided by root 3. So I don't want third in the denominator. Into root 3. This finally becomes 58.2 root 3 into root 3 divided by 3. So your FB value is nothing but 58.2 by 3 is 19.4 root 3. That means FB value is 19.4 root 3. FB is nothing but from here to here it is 19.4. From B to E it is 58.2. That means total from B to E it is 58.2. 58.2 is nothing but 19.4 into 3, right? Next, from B to F, it is 19.4 into root 3. That means question is asking for F to E. So F to E is nothing but from entire 19.4 into 3, subtract that 19.4 into root 3. You will get the answer 19.4. Common factor 3 minus root 3. This should be the answer. Very, very easy, sir. And I am writing all these things for your understanding, which you need not write it everything in your examination. With practice, you will be even more faster in solving all these questions in the much more easiest way possible. I hope the idea is very clear with this particular question. Next question. Again a very good question once again. Please see this question, sir. Your question is: a navy captain is going away from a lighthouse at a speed of 4 into root 3 minus 1 meters per second. That means, suppose there is a lighthouse. Let me call that lighthouse as AB. Let me name that lighthouse as AB. Now, there is a Navy captain. Suppose he is at point C. He is at point C initially. He is moving away from the lighthouse. That means he is moving in this direction. He is moving away from the lighthouse at a speed of 4 into root 3 minus 1 meters per second. He observed that it takes him 1 minute to change the angle of elevation of the top of the lighthouse from 60 degree to 45 degree. That means initially he was at this point C. Initial angle of elevation to the top of the lighthouse, it is 60 degrees. Initially the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. Now he observed that it takes him 1 minute. That means he kept on moving like this for 1 minute. The distance travelled from C to D, it is 1 minute, or in other language it is 60 seconds. He travels 60 seconds away from the lighthouse and he observed that now the angle of elevation is not 60 degrees, angle of elevation has changed to 45 degrees. What is the height of the lighthouse? AB is the height of the lighthouse. Find out AB value is your question. Now see here, sir. Again a very easy approach. Same logic once again, no change in approach. Angle B is 90 degrees. If angle B is 90, this is 60. This angle should be 30 degrees. Opposite to 30, if I assume it as 1 unit, opposite to 60, this entire value will become root 3 units. Similarly, this is 45 degrees. Opposite to 45, if this is root 3 units, this entire angle A is also 45. This opposite to 45 will also be root 3 units. That means entire is root 3. From B to C is 1. From C to D is root 3 minus 1. That means according to my assumption, speed of that Navy captain is distance travelled from C to D is root 3 minus 1 meter divided by time taken from C to D is 1 minute or 60 seconds. But according to question, it is not root 3 minus 1 into 60. It is 4 into root 3 minus 1. That is what they are saying according to the question. Similarly, according to my assumption, height of the lighthouse is AB. AB according to my assumption is root 3 units. According to the question, they are asking you how much it should be, right? How much it should be. If you cannot find the multiplying factor, cross multiply. Question mark will be equal to 4 into root 3 minus 1 into root 3. 4 into root 3 into root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1 into divided by 60. Root 3 minus 1 divided by 60. That 60 will go to the numerator. Root 3 minus 1 cancels. 4 into 60 is 240 times of root 3 should be the answer, which is option A. These are all very easy with this logic, sir. And this is not the first time I am saying this statement. I have told this statement so many times already. These are all very easy questions, provided you have understood the previous questions whichever I have solved till now. I hope this logic or this ideology is very clear for you people. See this next question, sir. Already that I have mentioned in this question that this question is original SSC Mains 2017 question. But please see this question. The question which was asked in SSC Mains 2017, how easy this question is once you solve by using the methodology whatever I am teaching. And believe me, sir, out of so many questions whatever I have solved till now, there are so many questions which are examinations original question. From the questions what I have solved in heights and distances till now, many questions are original exam questions. I haven't mentioned it, that's all. This is one question where I have mentioned. That does not mean that the previous questions are not exam questions. Many out of the questions whatever I have solved are examination questions, including this question. Let us solve this right now. See this question. Two trees are standing along the opposite side of a road. There is a road. This is the road which I will call it as BE. Two trees are standing. This first tree, okay, it is not. straight line. Let me be little straight at least, right? This first tree is AB. First tree is AB. Let me draw another tree. That tree I will call it as DE. Two trees are standing along the opposite sides of a road. The distance between the two trees is 400 meters. Question says that entire distance between E to B is 400 meters. There is a point on the road between the trees. There is some point here, sir. There is some point on the road between the trees. I will name that point as C. I don't know whether that is the midpoint between B and D or some random point between B and D. Let us check it later. The angle of depression of the point from the top of the trees are 45 degrees and 60 degrees. Top of first tree, angle of depression is 45 degrees to this point. This is 45 degrees. Top of the second tree, angle of depression is 60 degrees. This angle is 60 degrees. I hope you are understanding. Next, if the height of the tree which makes 45 degrees angle of depression is 200 meters, that means question says that this height is 200 meter. Height of the tree which makes 45 degree angle of depression. Height of AB is given in the question as 200 meters. Then find the height of the other tree. Other tree height is what we are interested in finding. Now see here. Same logic I would like to implement. The distance from B to E is 400. This is 90 degrees. This is 45. This also should be 45. Opposite to this 45, it is given as 200. So opposite to this angle A 45 should also be 200. Out of total 400, if this is 200, from C to E also it should be remaining 200. That means they are indirectly saying that the point which is there between B and E, two ends of the road, the point C is the midpoint actually. They did not directly give it as midpoint. We found that it is a midpoint between B and E. Anyway, next. This angle is 60 degrees. This angle is 90 degrees. So angle D should be 30 degrees. According to our assumption, opposite to 30, if it is 1, opposite to 60 will be root 3. But opposite to 30 is not 1. Opposite to 30 is 200. 1 into 200 is 200. Root 3 into 200 is 200 root 3. That is the answer. That is what they are asking, right? What is the height of the other tree? That is nothing but DE 200 root 3. Over answer. Why are you struggling a lot by using that stupid methodology, sir? I hope the idea is clear. Original SSC Mains 2017 question solved within 30 seconds of time. Yes, sir, you did not take 30 seconds to solve this question, sir. You took more time. Yes, I took more time because I want to explain and make you people understand this by the methodology what I am teaching. That does not mean that you should also take more time like the way I took to explain. You are solving an exam. With practice, you will definitely solve this question within 15 seconds also. Forget about 30. If you ask me, I can solve this question within 10 seconds of time. So does you if you can. Excuse me. Please see the next question. Again, this question is the original SSC Mains examination question. I haven't mentioned the year of it. Anyway, we can check it out which year also, nothing to worry about it, sir. See the question. Height of a tower is 120 meter. Okay, there is a tower. The tower I will call it as AC. Height of this tower is given in the question as 120 meters. Point number 1. Respected. The angle of elevation of the top of the tower from point B is 75 degrees. From the top of the tower from point B, angle of elevation is 75 degrees. This particular angle is 75 degrees. This is 90 degrees. Point B is on the level ground. Level ground is BC. Point B is on the level ground. Good. What is the distance of point B from the base of the tower? Base of the tower is C. This particular distance BC is what they are asking you in the question. Sir, this is a very easy question, right, sir? Why did you take it? To show you that it's an examination question. That is the reason I took. And another thing, this is 75 degrees. We are not comfortable with 75 degrees and 15 degrees and other things, because we are comfortable with 30, 60, 45 degrees and 90 degrees. So what we will do is, we will use the same methodology. Tan, apply tan 75. Tan 75 is nothing but opposite is 120, adjacent is BC. And we should know the value of tan 75. I have told you how to find tan 75, tan 15, all those values in my heights and which is the trigonometry class. Tan 75 value is 2 plus root 3, tan 15 value is 2 minus root 3. You can easily derive it, sir, nothing to worry. Tan 75 is nothing but tan of 45 plus 30, or tan of 19. Okay, 45 plus 30 is better. Tan of 45 plus 30 is tan of A plus B. Tan A plus tan B divided by 1 minus tan A tan B. If you simplify, you will get it as 2 plus root 3. Nothing too much of calculations is not anyway involved. Anyway, I told you to remember tan 75 value when I took trigonometry class. It is 2 plus root 3, tan 15 is 2 minus root 3. In this question we require tan 75 2 plus root 3 is equal to 120 divided by BC. BC is only what we require, right, sir? Easy question. It is 120 divided by 2 plus root 3. Rationalize it. When I rationalize, this becomes 2 minus root 3 in the numerator. Here also multiply by 2 minus root 3. Numerator, denominator becomes 2 square minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Final answer is 120 times of 2 minus root 3. This is very easy compared to all the previous questions what we have solved in the recent few hours of our class. But I took this question because it's an original examination SSC mains question. I hope the idea is clear for you people. Next question. See this question, again a very good question. Your question is, from a point P, okay, there is some point P. That is what we understood from the first statement. The angle of elevation of a tower. Okay, there is a tower. That is second thing what we understood. Name the tower as some name, whatever you want. I will name it as AB. The angle of elevation of a tower is such that its tangent is 3 by 4. That means from this point P, this is top of the tower is making some angle. I will call that angle as theta. It is given that tangent of that angle theta is nothing but 3 by 4. Okay, understood, sir. That means tangent of theta is opposite side is nothing but 3. That means they are saying that AB value is 3. Adjacent side BP value is 4 according to the assumption as of now. Continue the question. On walking 560 meters towards the tower, I am at point P right now. I will keep walking towards the tower. How much I will walk? I will walk for 560 meters towards the tower. On walking 560 meters towards the tower, the tangent of the angle of elevation of the tower becomes 4 by 3. That means at this point, which I will represent as Q, point Q. Now the angle of elevation, I will call that angle as alpha. But they are saying the tangent of that angle alpha becomes 4 by 3. That means opposite to this alpha, it is 4. Opposite to this alpha, it is 4. Adjacent to this alpha, it is 3. Right? Adjacent to this alpha, it is 3. Now, think little logically. I told you sometime before also. AB value initially is 3. The same AB value, now it is 4. Can the same AB have 3 and 4 different values at the same time? No. Can you have 2 different years at the same time? You are 25 years old right now. You are also 32 years right now. No, it is not possible. That means AB should be same numerical value. That means, can I say that earlier it was 3. Now it is becoming 4. 3 should become 4. Multiply by 4 by 3. Or can I say that I will make the I will take 3 and 4 to a different number altogether, which is a whole number. What is the LCM of 3 and 4? It is 12. That means wherever 3 is there, multiply by 4, it becomes 12. That means this 3 is written for a triangle ABP. That 3 should be multiplied by 4 to become 12. Other value which is written for ABP is 4. 4 also should be multiplied by 4. That means BP value is 16. Right? BP is 16. Similarly, alpha opposite is 4. But it should not be 4. It should be 12. Multiply by 3. This 3 also multiply by 3. I hope you are understanding the logic, sir. Right? That means according to my assumption, AB value is 12. According to my assumption, AB value is 12. According to my assumption, PQ value is out of total 16. This is 9. So this should be remaining 7. PQ is 7 according to my assumption. But question says it is not 7, it is 560. 7 into 80 is 560. 12 into 80 should be the answer. 960. I hope you understood the logic of making these numbers equal, which we did it in so many topics, sir. Yeah, time, speed and distance, time and work, all those things, we are making the numbers as equal only, right? I hope it is very, very clear for you. This is 3 initially, this is 4 later, but they cannot have two different values. Make it as same, take the LCM of 3 and 4. This is 3, make it as 12, multiply by 4. Which is the other value you should multiply by 4. Which is the other value you have written for the triangle. This is 4. 4 also multiply by 4. That means instead of saying this as 3 by 4, I can also say it as 12 by 16. Both are absolutely same. Instead of saying it as 4 by 3, I can also say 4 by 3 as 12 by 9. That is what I wrote it here, sir. I hope now you are very clear. Opposite to theta, opposite to alpha, both are AB only. Both should be same value. I made it as same value as 12 in both the cases. That means if this is 12, remaining two sides are 16 and 9 accordingly. The 16 only I wrote it as 6 in 4 into 4. That 9 only I wrote it as 3 into 3. Simple logic. Then use the proportionality concept. Next question. Okay, anyway, we do not have next question in this slide. That's okay.